Hey, this is Tyrese Anderson. What I want to talk about today is the question of, did Europe ruin this world? Now, before I get into this video, I just want to put it out there. I am not racist towards white people. I don't have any problem with white people or people of any other particular race. I just honestly want to state the facts in an objective perspective for this video. Not to mention the simple fact of the matter is is that these things happened in the past that I'm referring to. So it's the past. It's not something you can hold people accountable for today. So I just want to get that out there before I get into this video. So now let's get into the video. Did Europe ruin the world? Now, when it comes to Europe, the traditional narrative you tend to hear is that Europe civilized the world. It made the world go from a barbaric, troublesome place to the most civilized, to the civilized, beautiful world we live in today. They've made things so much better. But for this video, I will explain, did it or did it not? Now, to get straight to the point about did Europe ruin this world? The simple answer to the question may come as a surprise to a lot of people. And you know what that question is? The question to that answer is yes. Now, as I said before with the disclaimer for this video, I just want to I made it clear that I'm not anti-white. I'm just presenting the facts of the truth of the matter. Because the problem with Europe that I feel people have kind of, and not even kind of, but have really neglected is how much they've actually ruined things in a lot of ways. Because the truth of the matter about Europe is that the world, before particularly Northern Europe, colonized the rest of the world, the world has always had civilizations. It's always had brutality. It's always treated people terribly and has done terrible things to other groups of people, whether it could be the Americas, um, Asia, Africa, the Middle East, and so on and so forth. The truth of the matter is, every part of the world is guilty of its own war crimes and stuff. But the thing about Europe that makes it different is how unnecessarily brutal and terrible and tyrannical it is. Because the thing that made Europe different from other empires that tended to rely on violence and stuff is that Europe, the way they did things was to do two main things: to train Europeans to view people who are not European as less, and to teach the natives that they are inferior of the lands that they've conquered. That is the tactic they use to pretty much win. And even when you look at their history, look at how long they lasted. All of their empires lasted. So, truth be told, when it comes to Europe, they actually, to put it bluntly, have kind of ruined things. Because the truth of the matter is, even though everyone always wants to talk about, oh, they're the ones who brought technology, they invented a lot of things, and so on and so forth, the same old stories you hear over and over and over again. The truth of the matter it is that to put it bluntly, you can't take ideas that belong to people of other communities. Like people from the Middle East, like the ancient Egyptians were definitely not white, no matter what you claim. Um, the people of other groups in the Middle East are not white. Even if you might say they're white, that's looking at it from a modern perspective, like Lebanese and stuff. It's just like saying Jewish people are white. They're not white. You know, Asian people, they have light skin. Are they white? No. So the truth of the matter is that whether it's the Middle East, Asia, or any different region of the world, they've pretty much just been going all over the place, stealing other people's ideas. Did they improve upon them? Yes, but they not only improved upon them, they just because they improved upon something, they use that as just a justification to prove how much better they are than other people. And the truth of the matter is, reality doesn't work that way. You can't just create something and just because you created a better version of it, say that, oh, I'm better than you. Because even when you look at ancient civilizations of the past, like Babylon and stuff, if you were to actually go inside the buildings of some of the people of the past, truth be told, you may be quite surprised at how similar a lot of the accessories they had are similar to things we have today. They had combs, they had things for people to clean their teeth with, they had things for people to wash their faces with, they had a drainage system, all these things, way before Europe even came around and invented these things. And it's probably methods that worked quite more efficiently than Europe in some ways, like the toilet. I know India had its own toilet system centuries ago, and at least for it, you don't have to worry about clogging or anything like that. And these are a lot of things that were invented before them, that before they came into the world. Yet because they invented maybe improved, more updated versions of it, they use that way of thinking as justification to justify their superiority to someone. It's like black powder. That's not something they invented, but they use it to they improved upon it, and it's actually one of the main things that helped them become as powerful as they did in the world. So truth be told, those are not things they invented, but they still want to act like they're better than other people. Now, to get even more to the main point of how it's ruined the world, all they've really done is they've ruined the world in many different ways. Aside from creating a lot of self-hate issues in a lot of communities of people, um, that a certain percentage, a small but still a quite a decent percentage of people in the black community, the Indian community, and even the Asian community have self-hate issues because of them. And especially going back further in the past when Britain and Europe was at its height, it was even worse than it is today when it comes to self-hate issues. How can you expect to live in a world that's great if pretty much most of the world hates themselves? I'm not saying that they did, but I'm just putting that out there. Not to mention all of the social issues we have today. Because when you look at Europe, a lot of Europe, or even before Europe, whether you want to believe it or not, a lot of the things that has made up society for a long time has been something known as morality. Morality is something that humans in some way or another have believed in for centuries, even for communities of people outside of Europe, such as the Middle East. The Quran existed in like the 500s AD, way before Europe became a superpower. So did a lot of belief systems came way before Europe came in the world. But the truth of the matter about Europe is that Europe had also, some of them had the same beliefs. And the thing about Europe is that Europe at the same time also created a system such as the left wing, right wing sort of crap. So pretty much when you talk about a lot of the things about morality and stuff, they tend to associate you with these white supremacists and all this type of crap. So when you look at a lot of the things that are going on in the world, from morality issues to even simply put it, the way the world is run, they kind of ruin it. Now, I'm not racist or anything, but they've actually kind of screwed up the world. And when you look at it, we are closer to the world kind of ending now than it has ever in human history ever existed. And the truth of the matter is with all the trouble we have created, all we can hope is that we move towards a better, happier future. Because truth be told, they actually have kind of screwed things up. It's not, people, they always say it's humanity, but not even really humanity. It's more something kind of they screwed up. And I'm not saying this applies to the new generation of white people, but the older generations and older generations have kind of screwed up the world. Because the truth of the matter is, and I'll end this video off at this high point, okay? What's the point of living in a more sophisticated world if it's pretty much going to end in no time? You can create technology and all that stuff, but with all the issues we have in the world, from environmental damage to to global warming, all this type of crap, what's the point of having all this stuff if if the world's going to come to an end? Not to mention a lot of the stuff that they have, it's not even something that they completely created, because a lot of these things are based off of other communities of people's ideas. So truth be told, how can you do that? That doesn't make any sense at all. So truth be told, they've kind of ruined the world. I have to admit it. Hopefully things get better, but truth be told, this world is in a bad state. And this is my video. This is part one, and I will follow this up with a part two. This is all I have to say. If you like it, all I have to say. So simply put it, later.